Oh. Aha, it is Donna.
Donna?
Yeah, this is some sort of alternative, not alternative reality, but...
Gorgeous. And can't speak a word. What am I going to do with you?
That.
You've done so much in 7 years.
7 years.
Sometimes it feels more like 70.
Or
Mind you, sometimes it feels like no time.
right, I was gonna say, or 7 seconds.
You say he's your friend, but he doesn't even know who you are. Listen, all you need to know is this. I trust that man to the end of the universe.
Whoa.
And actually, we've been.
Let's put a pin in that and come back to that.
You've lost your friend, you're angry, I understand. But you need to be less emotional, Doctor,
Ooh.
right now.
Less, but I'm not emotional.
Dear God, you're hard work, young.
Yeah, who are you?
Oh, for heaven's sake! Look at the pair of you. We're all gonna die right here, and you're just squabbling like an old married couple.
Mmm.
One day I'm going to be someone that you trust completely. But I can't wait for you to find that out.
Ooh.
So I'm going to prove it.
Whoa. Okay, so this has to be something substantial. It's got goosebumps.
Are we good? Are we good?
Whoa.
Yeah, we're good.
Clearly something only he could know. Or that he keeps to himself.
I'm blocking him, but he's trying to break through.
Doctor!
Donna!
Donna! That was her, that was your
Oh,
friend.
okay, that's the scene that just
Can you get
happened.
her back? What was that?
Whoa.
You're right.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And we put the kids to bed. And
Yeah, there seems to be no concept of time. It's just like...
Is that a letter?
Person in black? Yeah. Oof. Whoa, that's creepy. It's a lady in black. So through this person, she might find out that this is some sort of simulation or...
You didn't get my note last night. You got it a few seconds ago.
Ah, there it is.
Having decided to come, you suddenly found yourself arriving.
Hmm.
How do you know me?
We met before.
Oh, it's her.
You were kind to
Evangelista.
Forests.
You're not in a forest, you're in a library. There are no trees in a
Oh, books?
library.
You should go. Doctor!
Books.
Alright.
You came in the books.
What lie?
The children. Look at the children.
Oh, two of the same.
Why'd you wear that veil?
That one boy had
Why
the
did
same
face like
jacket,
yours?
same...
I wouldn't hide it.
It's funny, I keep wishing the doctor was here.
Doctor is here, isn't he? He's coming back, right?
She means...
You know when you see a photograph of someone you know, but it's from years before
Right,
you
yeah,
knew
she
them.
means the doctor she knew and...
It's like they're not quite finished. They're not done yet. But not my.
Ah, I like that. Not my doctor.
I've seen whole armies turn and run away, and he'd just swagger off back to his TARDIS and open the doors with a snap of his fingers.
So this is some foreshadowing.
Waiting to be sent. Not emails.
Transcription error,
What's a
right?
computer to do? What is a computer away?
Backup?
It saved them.
Save them, yeah.
There is a word. Just one word.
Cal?
Cow.
Auto-destruct enabled in 20 minutes.
Oh, there you go. You've got ourselves a ticking time bomb. Plot device.
You've forgotten again. It was you who saved all those people, haven't you?
Oh, she's Cal. Ah.
You remembered.
Shut up, Dr. Moon!
Manners.
Gravity platform.
But I like you.
Oh, you do.
I like that.
Right, you don't get out of my sight.
This is kind of harsh, though,
It's at bedtime.
that she has to go through this. Caring for these children, even though they don't exist. But she has an attachment to them, clearly. This is harsh. This is harsh.
The girl we saw on the computer.
She's not in the computer.
She is?
In a way, she is the computer. The main command node. This is Cal. Charlotte Abigail Lux.
Ah, okay.
My grandfather's youngest daughter.
Oh.
She was dying. So we built her a library and put her living mind inside. and the moon to watch over her.
Dr. Moon.
So you weren't protecting a patent, you were protecting her.
Nice.
Easy! I'll hook myself up to the computer so you can borrow my memory.
She's not gonna let him do that.
Difficult. It'll kill you stone dead. Yeah, it's easy to criticize.
It'll burn up both your hearts and don't think you'll regenerate.
I'll try my hardest not to die, honestly. It's my main thing. I'm right, this will work, shut up.
I hate you sometimes. I know. Mr. Lux, with me. Anita, if he dies, I'll kill him.
Yeah, I feel like this is a relationship in the future, isn't it?
You just killed someone I like. That is not a safe place to stand. I'm the Doctor, and you're in the biggest library in the universe. Look me up. Yeah. Is the shadow going to back up? Yes, it is.
But you can't.
Knocked him out. One punch.
Auto-destruct in 2 minutes.
What are you doing? That's my job.
Oh, and I'm not allowed to have a career, I suppose.
Why am I handcuffed? Why do you even have handcuffs?
Spoilers.
This is not a joke. Stop this now. This is going to kill you.
This means you've always known how I was going to die. All the time we've been together, you knew I was coming here. The last time I saw you, the real you, the future you, I mean, you turned up on my doorstep with a new haircut and a suit. And you cried.
Auto-destruct.
You wouldn't tell me why.
1 minute.
But I suppose you knew it was time. My time. Time to come to the library.
Oh man.
Let me do this.
If you die here, it'll mean I've never met you.
Time can be rewritten.
Not those times. Not one line. Don't you dare. It's not over for you. You'll see me again. You've got all of that to come.
It's the end of her journey.
Me. Time and space.
Oh.
You watch us run.
Whether you know my name,
Auto-destruct in
you whispered my name in my ear.
9,
Even the name is false.
8, 7,
There's only one reason I would ever tell anyone my name.
5,
There's only one time I could.
Shh.
3,
Spoilers.
2.
Oh, that hurt, man.
I'll find you!
Oh.
I promise you I'll find you!
Oh, Doctor. There's a future in the past for you. You'll meet her again. I've seen that expression many times on his face now. Oh, there he is! Oh. The journal.
Because when she heard my name, the way she looked
Yeah.
at me...
Donna. This is her diary. My future.
But he can't look into it though.
I could look you up.
No.
Spoilers, right?
Right. Next chapter's this way.
When you run with the Doctor, it feels like it will never end. But however hard you try, you can't run forever.
Oh.
Everybody knows that everybody dies, and nobody knows it like the Doctor.
Why would I do that?
Oh.
Look at that. I'm very good.
What have you done?
Saved her.
She's beautiful.
But I was worried you might be lonely, so I brought you some friends.
Oh, her
I'll
team.
take clever girl.
Aren't we all?
For heaven's sake. You just can't do it, can you? That man. That impossible man.
Go on, try it. Not yet. Until next time, River Song. Oh.
Everybody lives. Sweet dreams, everyone.
Wow. Right then, how about that? How about that? That is just a brilliant two-parter. Yet another fantastic episode. More than fantastic. It's, again, I think I've got another episode that can go right into my top 10 for the all-time list for Doctor Who episodes. Easily top 10, perhaps top 5. But, the one thing I can say for sure is top 10. Fantastic two-parter. A brilliant two-parter, actually. Much like how, Series 3 they had the strong two-parter near the conclusion or at the tail end of the season, Human Nature and Family of Blood, right? Phenomenal two-parter. This, now it's a bit of a different type of story, right? And tone, yet it is pretty much just as good. I think it's just as good as that episode, right? As that two-parter. You always get the early two-parter, right? In the first half of the season. But then the really great two-parter is usually, it's usually reserved for the second half of the season or the series. That's a beautiful ending. That is a beautiful ending for one of the best characters of Doctor Who since I've started the show. I was on board. I was already a fan of River Song in the last episode, right? In part 1, Silence in the Library. But yeah, by the end of this episode, I adore her even more, right? She has become one of my favorites of the show. And she's easily one of the best characters of the show. And she's one of those fantastic limited appearance characters, right? I mean, a limited appearance character for now because, I think this episode and even this two-parter essentially made it quite clear that, this is not the last time the Doctor and I get to see River Song. I mean, there is so much great setup here for any future River Song appearances, right? Foreshadowing, Easter eggs, insights, and potential future adventures. Not potential, future adventures that they have had together. And that was one of the things I loved about this two-parter. It kind of started in in part 1 of this, as River Song is name dropping certain things and experiences they've had together, and now she's kind of straight up telling him about some of these really important things that have happened to them and experiences they've shared together. So I'm certainly going to take a note of that, or keep a note of that, these things River Song was saying in this episode, right? I feel like that's the whole point here, right? Given the fact that it was pretty clear in episode 1 or part 1 of this that they are heading into opposite directions in time, and unfortunately it did end up being the end of her journey, right? So yeah, and beyond that, there's even insights on the type of doctor or doctors I might experience after Tennant's run is up. There's a lot of cool moments here that allude to the personalities of future doctors or her doctor, be it Matt Smith or Capaldi, right? So a lot of cool moments here. Essentially, there's more than enough here for future River Song appearances, right? Great setup here. A lot of great setup here. And, I'm eagerly anticipating any future appearance. For me, that's now become one of the most exciting things about Doctor Who of the show. This new storyline that's come in now. Again, that's the feeling I got in episode 1 or part 1 of this, that, they've just introduced something epic. Something epic has just taken off. Something major, right? For the long term. And actually, before I go any further and I forget, it was actually really nice to see the rest of the team get that ending as well, Of course, I was super happy for River Song to get that ending, that beautiful ending, but it was a really nice moment for that reunion moment, right? It had me misty-eyed. Man, this episode, it was so good. The two-parter, just the whole, it just ended, but I have this sudden urge to just go back to part 1 of this, watch that, and then watch this again. I feel like I'll be, revisiting this episode or this two-parter quite a bit. But yeah, great moment, great. That was one of the things, right? This episode really packed an emotional punch, different beats, right, for different reasons, for different characters, and that moment was one of them. Her reunion with her expedition team. And a bit of a callback to Eccleston's Doctor, right? In the Doctor Dances, just this once, everybody lives. River Song said that, right? Everybody lives, as she turned out the lights. Or before. She said it before she turned off the lights. But yeah, I thought it was a great moment, great callback. And that's a Moffat episode, isn't it? The Doctor Dances. So, and speaking of Moffat, yet again, he comes in this cameo type appearance, right? And delivers just a brilliant two-parter, right? He came in series 3 for Blink, in series 2, The Girl in the Fireplace, right? I thought it was such a well-crafted story, two-parter. It has a lot of moving pieces, a lot of them actually, a lot of interesting ideas, a lot of interesting plot points, yet Moffat brings it all together in a nice package, right? And he delivers a fantastic two-parter. So once again, Moffat leaves his mark on another series of Doctor Who, series 4. This two-parter it's going to be in my top 2, top 3 come the end of this series. I mean, there's still 4 more episodes to go, so there's still quite a bit. And, this is the tail end of the season, and this is around the time the really strong episodes come out, right? You go back to series 3, Utopia and all the episodes around that time, right? Blink was right before Utopia as well. And then, the two-parter, Human Nature and the Family of Blood. Incredible run, right? So if I'm in for another run of that caliber, I'm excited. I'm so excited about this. And another thing I simply have to mention, and I'm never going to stop mentioning, is Murray Gold's incredible music. Oh my God, he is, his music is so crucial to this. I've said this before and I'll keep saying it. His music is so crucial. And I mean, some of the music in these last 2 episodes, there's certainly some new music, and it's some incredible new music, right? It really helped pack that emotional punch. I mean, the music had me covered in goosebumps multiple times throughout this episode, and even in the first part of this two-parter. Murray Gold is just phenomenal, and I'm a big fan, and I hope to just buy up all the soundtracks. Hopefully, I can still get them. Hopefully they're still online. I'm a big fan of physical media, so I would love to actually get the actual soundtracks if they're still around. I know, this is some time ago now, but, if not, I hope at least it's digital. Hopefully I can get like a digital, collection of this. And I hope to get all of it. It's incredible. Murray Gold is so important to this show, in my opinion. And speaking of packing an emotional punch, how about that scene of, essentially the final scene of the Doctor and River Song, as he's cuffed and she's strapping herself in. Oh, that is easily one of the best scenes of this show so far. In the 4 series I've seen so far, this is one of the best scenes. It's so emotionally moving, right? It's so deeply affecting, for me at least. That was, and once again, I have to mention her acting. Again, I don't know her name yet, but she is quite good. She's fantastic, and again, really makes you believe that notion that River Song has had, a lifetime essentially, or a good chunk of her life. She's had these experiences, and she's been on this journey with the Doctor, and that she's had quite a connection and quite a relationship with the Doctor. And I felt like her acting really sold that notion. And I said the same thing in part 1 of this. Even more poignant in this episode, right? And again, more credit to Moffat for making us, the audience, care about a connection, a relationship that isn't quite there yet from the Doctor's perspective, and for us as well, right, the audience. Yet it really did feel like they've shared this history, they've shared this relationship, this incredible journey together. Again, Moffat and the acting really sold that, I felt. So what's happened has happened, right? But now it has to play out for the Doctor. So that's the thing that has me so excited about future appearances of River Song. And, essentially for her, It was the end of a beautiful journey, right? A beautiful friendship, a beautiful relationship. Clearly, for the Doctor, it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning of something beautiful, of this beautiful journey, right? In relationship, in friendship, companionship. Essentially, like I said in part one, right? He has a future in the past. And I loved how she reassured him, right? Because she can also see the pain in his face, because he does realize at this point how important she really is to him. So she reassures him, right? You'll see me again. You've got all of that to come. You and me, time and space. Just watch us run. Fantastic moment, right? It's a beautiful moment. And, you know, I am excited. I'm really excited because of that. Sad, of course, but really excited as well, right? Because, again, they're heading into opposite directions, right? So I am going to see River Song again. Yes, it's a sad moment in this episode, but it's also nice to know that I am going to see her again at some point. I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. I hope they don't abandon this storyline, right? And I think this episode made it even more clear that this is someone really special to the Doctor, right? Someone really important to the Doctor, given the fact that she whispered his name in his ear, and, you know, that is not something anyone else knows, right? As far as I know. And, you know, the look on his face. Oh my God, the look on his face. Again, David Tennant, he really sold that, right? He was just rattled. He was floored at this thing that's just happened. Someone has just said his name in his ear, and he is just baffled at this moment in time, because, you know, later he goes on to tell her that there's only one reason that he would tell anyone his name, or there's only one reason he could tell anyone his name. And since he knows there's only one reason he would ever say his name to anyone, then it really starts to hurt, right? He knows if he's done that, this person sitting right there who's about to die is someone, one of the most important people in his life, right? So yeah, I thought that was one of those moments that really hits you hard, right? The pain in his face, and just the pain of knowing that this person that you've just met in the last few hours is actually someone so important to you, right? And they're about to die. And I feel like, you know, over the span of these past two episodes, especially this episode, I think you can deduce that, yeah, this is a love interest, right? But, you know, given the fact that it's such a phenomenal connection, or such a rare connection, it feels like it's more of a soulmates type connection, right? You know, because a love interest, he's had that experience, you know, in some capacity. Yes, you know, him and Rose kind of got close at one point. It was kind of heading into that direction, right? That both of them might have had feelings for each other. I mean, Rose certainly had feelings for him. And it became clear that, yeah, he might have had some feelings for Rose as well. Again, Madame de Pompadour, right? Love interest for sure. But this has a different feeling, right? This feels, the reason I keep saying that this has this really grand, epic feeling to it is because the connection, it feels like it's a big one, right? An important one. So for that reason, I do say it feels like a soulmates type connection. Again, that brings it all back to, you know, the pain in his face at that moment. Just imagine that, you know, essentially meeting someone so important to you, right? Potentially a soulmate, someone you haven't really even met yet, but you're meeting them in their final hours as a first experience you're having with them, right? So it's a crazy situation, you know, and it's a painful one to watch, right? To see the Doctor go through that. And in that sense, these final hours, you know, coming across this Doctor, they must have been painful for River, right? Because he doesn't recognize her, right? He's so different to what she's used to, right? So, yeah, you know, it's sad, man. It's so sad, this whole situation. You know, in the Doctor, you have someone who has such a painful past, right? You have someone who's been running from this painful past for such a long time. But, you know, then imagine being in that position, realizing that, okay, so somehow I do kind of get over all of that, pain and loss, and I do end up having a bond, a really important and strong bond with someone new, right? So, that's got to do a number on you for sure, as the doctor. But in that sense, you can also understand his hesitation in episode 1, or sorry, in part 1 of this, right? Because of all those reasons, given his painful past, and experiences, right, and losses, you can see the reason he had his shield up in that part, in part 1. But of course, that moment, the crucial moment of her whispering his name into his ear, that changed his perspective dramatically, right? That lowered the shield for sure. And of course, there's a lot of cute moments, right? Alluding to their relationship dynamic. In episode 1, part 1, sorry, and in this episode as well. I mean, more so in this episode. There's a lot of moments that really, take you into that direction, and that's the reason I felt that you could deduce that, yeah, this is a love interest, and they were in a relationship, or they are. Lux essentially had to come up to them and tell them that they're essentially arguing like a married couple, right? An old married couple, and they look at each other, and I just thought that was such a great moment. And yeah, they are arguing like a married couple, right? And of course, later on there's that joke about, oh, so I can't have a career now. Again, a lot of really cute moments, a lot of moments that really put into that direction. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. This is that type of relationship, right? This is a love interest. But again, like I said, more so than that, it felt like soulmates, right? It's a deep connection from the sounds of things. Now, building on that, at one point she openly straight up tells him that he has to be less emotional at this moment in time. She's not shy to open up or be upfront, right? Or be blunt about the situation. That was the thing I was talking about in the beginning of this discussion. Insights into their dynamic, and insights into the type of dynamic she has with the doctors she knows, right? Future doctors. Again, be it Smith or Capaldi. Essentially, she's not really used to this younger doctor, right? And again, that takes me to that notion of her saying "my doctor" later in the episode. I wish my doctor was here. I can completely understand her reasoning for that, or her stance on that, or why she even said that in the first place. The regeneration essentially changes the doctor quite a bit, right? I mean, physically, of course, that's a given, but it also alters the doctor's personality, right? It alters his consciousness, essentially, right? It alters the doctor's outlook on things, temperament, a lot of those things. I mean, it might be the same being, the same entity, the same, the physical presence is there, as she mentioned. Yeah, the doctor is here, but it's a different person almost, right? So in that sense, the notion of her doctor, completely understandable, right? And it's a bit of a meta moment as well, because the fan base, the fans of Doctor Who, they have this concept as well, right? My doctor. That's a phrase I've heard so much since I've started the show. My doctor, and everyone has different attachments, right? For different reasons, they have attachments to a specific doctor, making it their doctor. So yeah, really great moment there. So yeah, of course, that's another thing that has me really excited to see her doctor, right? The one she's really describing here. But another really sad moment, and I hate to see him. It's always such a crushing moment to see the doctor like this, right? As he's cuffed and he's just got the hollow look in his face, and the camera just slowly pans out. Oh my God, that is it crushes me every single time to see the doctor like that. And it's a reoccurring thing at this point in time. I've seen it a few times. That look, that demeanor, that state of mind he's in. Of course, in this one, as he's still processing, the loss he's felt, right? He's just met this person in the last few hours, but then he's feeling this immense loss given the relationship, right? Given the context of it, once he knew the context of it all. Recently I saw it in the Christmas special as well, right? And going further back, I remember that distinct look from the girl in the fireplace, right? In the conclusion of the episode, as he's just standing there inside the TARDIS. Yeah, that hollow look, it just crushes me every time. It goes to something River Song said in this episode, right? Everybody knows that everybody dies, but no one knows it quite like the Doctor, right? The curse of being the Doctor, right? Always having to just move on. Accepting loss, accepting all that pain, and just kind of moving on, right? I've really felt that through Tennant's run. That loss he feels, the pain he feels, but then he just has to kind of move on, right? I'm always okay, as he told Donna, and he said the same thing to Rose in the TARDIS, right? In that Moffat episode as well. The girl in the fireplace. But of course, it did end up having a happy ending. That was not the final moment of the episode. It was a poignant moment for sure, but the final moment, he realized, why the future Doctor gave her the screwdriver, and of course, it led to that fantastic scene of him just running down the halls, just jumping down to the core, right, taking the quick route. And again, I mentioned a lot of great setup. That neural relay they set up in episode 1 or part 1 of this two-parter, yeah, it came into play for sure. And speaking of that alternative reality or the virtual reality, Donna actually had quite a emotionally draining experience, right? Emotionally crushing experience. Perhaps you could even call it a traumatic experience. Though later, in the conclusion of the episode, she wasn't showing signs. I mean, I say that, but she also, told the Doctor, I'm not okay, or I am okay, meaning, I'm not okay. But yeah, that was, imagine going through that type of experience. To her, it was a real thing, right? Her consciousness was transferred to this reality, so she was lucid throughout, right? She experienced all of that, and she lost it in an instant, right? She lived her ideal life essentially, and they've shown us that she wanted to start a family, right? Get married and start a family in that Christmas special, but Lance didn't end up being the type of person she thought he was, right? He wasn't fit to be a husband or, start a family with. And, and she did get to live out that ideal life in this virtual reality, right? But then again, it was snatched away. And, that scene of her crying after those children disappeared, wow. Like I said, she had to go through quite a traumatic experience, right? Thinking that she has these children and then losing them, and then realizing that they never existed. Oh my God. Yeah. That being said, yeah, that man, he tried to get her attention, but he couldn't, but he's still out there, right? He's still out there. So I don't know, man, could a faithful encounter bring them together at some point? But that being said, Donna herself brought up that conversation she had with River Song. She told the Doctor how, River Song didn't know about her from the future. And the look on her face was quite concerning, right? So, that's still in the back of my head. That's going to linger. And, I am quite scared about that. I've been kind of concerned about that since that first episode, part 1 of this two-parter. So, yeah. And speaking of, reoccurring themes or reoccurring things, how about Planet of the Ood? I think your song must end soon, right? Now, does this have anything to do with River Song at all, right? That Ood saying that to the Doctor. Could it also, be something of a double meaning? My initial take on that was that, yeah, I know Tennant's run is about to end, so maybe, this is alluding to that, right? But, River Song, it's possible it could have a double meaning, right? yeah, like I said, series 4 it's been one of the best for, setting up these moments, setting up these cryptic messages earlier on in the first half of the series, and now they might be playing out. And of course, Fires of Pompeii was one of the big episodes for that, right? She has returned, or she's returning. There's something on your back. Even the name is false, right? All of that stuff came out of that episode. So yeah, only 4 episodes to go. So yeah, I'm keeping all of that in mind for sure. Yeah, I think that's about it for this incredible episode, this incredible 2-parter. I'd say easily in my top 10 of the show. Top 5 even, potentially. It's just so good. And it gave me, this incredible new character in River Song, who I'm so excited about. I'm eagerly anticipating any future River Song appearances. Yeah, I'm getting into the business end of the series at this point, right? So things might get really incredible, right? Yeah, I'm really excited, most excited. So if you enjoyed that, consider dropping a like, consider dropping some comments, give me your thoughts. As always, it's such a pleasant experience seeing your comments in the comment section, and seeing the regulars show up, familiar faces, familiar faces in the sense that I recognize the profile pictures, and the names. So really, it really is a nice experience going through those comments and, checking them out. And I see all of them. I see all of those comments. I might not be able to reply to a lot of them or, most of them, but, I see the comments. If you're interested in early access to the next episode right now, or perhaps even full length for this episode, consider checking out the Patreon page. And the link for that is in the description or the pinned comment. So consider checking that out. Right then, that's about it. Really excited for these final 4 episodes and how they play out. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. And I hope to see you again soon. Until then, take it easy.